Hello and welcome to The World at One with me, Sarah Montague. Now, for the last 3 months, the Infected Blood inquiry has been taking evidence from victims and their relatives of what's been described as the worst treatment disaster in the history of the NHS. Thousands of people contracted hepatitis C and HIV after being given contaminated blood products in the 70s and 80s. More than 2,000 died. The inquiry is now on a break for the summer. Next year it'll begin questioning health officials. This week we thought we should hear from some of those affected. And today our reporter Andrew Bomford meets two women, Christine and Linda, who both lost their children to the scandal.
You Linda?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't recognise you. Did you recognise me? No, I didn't recognise you. No,
It's been a few years.
Christine and Linda used to know each other very well. Their sons grew up together and, being haemophiliacs, spent a lot of time in hospital together through childhood right until their mid-20s, until they died. All of them.
Yeah.
How many years is it?
24. Is he?
Yeah.
I said 21.
No, 24.
Yeah, I'm no good at dates and things like this, you know.
2 pictures of Michael.
Linda's only son, Michael, died aged 25. Christine's 2 sons, David and Mark, died aged 25 and 23. They grew up together, they died together. From March to June of 1995, within 4 months, all 3 died after contracting HIV and hepatitis C from infected NHS blood.
Yeah, some of his drawings.
This is a drawing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It looks like a photograph.
No, it's a pencil drawing.
It's incredible.
Yeah, they just used to do them all the
Christine
way.
shows me some of David's drawings. He was a very talented artist. Linda says Michael was determined not to let his haemophilia hold him back.
Well, I think he coped with it really well, considering he was severe haemophiliac. I know behind my back he'd go and play football when he shouldn't and things like that. He tried to live as normal as possible. When the home treatment came out, it was even better because we hadn't got to rush to the hospital. And if
Every time he had a bleed or something.
Yes, if he had a bleed. And if he was going out for the day somewhere and you'd worry about him, we used to give him some Factor 8 before he went to cover.
Just in case.
Just in case. I don't think we were supposed to do that, but we did.
The NHS was buying in this blood clotting agent Factor 8 from America, and we know now that it was not being treated properly and was infected with HIV, the virus causing AIDS, and various strains of hepatitis. The inquiry is investigating how much did the government and the NHS know of the risks at the time. Linda remembers a meeting for parents at the Birmingham Children's Hospital.
And it was there that they dropped the bombshell about this virus, which I'd never heard of before.
This was HIV.
HIV, yes. I'd never heard of it. I was a bit taken back, really, because I didn't really understand exactly what it was, but it was worrying, obviously. And Michael came down with glandular fever not long after, and I was worried about him. So next time I went to the hospital, I did ask the haemophilia sister. I said, I've been worried about Michael after going to this meeting. And she said, well, don't worry about Michael, he's fine, he's okay. So from then on, I never worried for 2 whole years.
What Linda and Christine don't know is whether those reassurances were correct. For 2 years, their boys continued to take the American Factor 8. And then came the devastating news that they were all infected with HIV.
I know when David was told, within a few days, his hair started coming out.
Stress.
Yeah, stress.
David and Linda's son Michael was 16. Mark was 14. Throughout the inquiry so far, we've heard the same story from almost everyone. Patients being told half-truths. Patients being tested for HIV and hepatitis, but not being told they were being tested.
I just can't talk about it.
I do.
You do?
I do, and I tell friends. I was talking to someone yesterday.
Yeah, I don't mention it to anyone.
Because it's been in the news and because I was coming here today. So I'm telling as many people as I can because I think they should know.
They should know about what happened.
Yeah, they should know what's happened.
Yeah.
Can it be put right?
Not really, no. Can't be put right. although I said we want justice, which is we do, you can't put it right. No.
I want to know the full story. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. A lot
There's
of
a lot we
questions
don't
to be
know.
answered, really.
But these questions will only start to get answered next year, when the infected blood inquiry begins questioning doctors, government officials and former ministers.
Andrew Bomford.